Welcome back. Hey, Chapter 9 and Chapter 10 going to get kind of crunched in together at the last minute here. Because you know it is the last minute. We're burning daylight. We got to get out of this semester. Thank God. Okay, we'll get out. But we're going to get out in style. We're gonna keep the smile too. I'm trying to rhyme even more words there. Smile, style, and all like. Nah, we're not going to go there. Here, listen. Chapter 9. All right, this is going to be interesting. It's called the stages of relationships. And what I want you to do, instead of insulting your intelligence, I want you to download and then print off for your notes the terms to know and love for Chapter 9, the sheet that I posted on Schoology for Chapter 9. Okay, it's already there. Download it and look at it and follow through some of these things as we go through Chapter 9. Going to go by really quickly because, again, we're burning daylight. Okay, campers, Chapter 9. We're going to complicate Tony even more so. You know what's in Tony's inner core right now? His feelings, his values, and his beliefs. His feelings, his values, and his beliefs. Last time we entered some life, we entered some life experiences into that inner core. All right, we're going to call those things individual bits of information today, so follow along, all right, because again, we're going to complicate Tony, all right. Here's what also resides in Tony's inner core, in that inner sanctum, and this is what he has to talk with Tina about, communicate with Tina about, show Tina. This is what basically he has to self-disclose with Tina. And Tina has to learn because they have to communicate. And now, if they're going to be life partners, soulmates, best friends, they have to communicate for a very long time. All right? So the more they know about each other, the better they can hone their communication skills with each other. We'll get into that in Chapter 10. All right? But here are some of the things that complicate Tony. Take a sneaky peek at that note page that you just printed off and added to your notebooks. Ooh, at the top. It talks about Tony's cultural level information now. I'm going to drop in a new chart of the complicated Tony. The complicated Tony. If you take a look at Tony's inner core now, there's a lot of those little tiny C's in there for cultural level information. Cultural level information comes in 3 different forms. All right. The first form cultural level information comes in is Tony's tribal. The second is his geo, and the third is his gender norms. All right. So let's run this, please. Tony's culture is Italian. I mean, he comes from Italy. We know that about Tony. Tony Mastraccioli, remember him from day 1 in my class? He met Tina. Tony and Tina, they're going to go out. They're going to go to the prom. Tony's Italian. His cultural background. His family is from Italy. All right. So he's got some cultural bits of information in his inner core just because of things like, oh, I know, the holidays that they celebrate. The holidays. Okay? Just because of the food. All right? All right, we all have those tribal norms that make us tribal. All right, maybe your tribe is, Scandinavian. Oh, it's a good guess. Here in Minnesota, or your tribe is German, or you got other connections, and that tribal bits of information have followed you down through generations. Okay? All right, campers. The geo? Tony's Italian, fine, all great and good, but he's also a Minnesotan. He lives in Minnesota, and his geography will make him who he is. All right? I once knew a guy that thought that there was snow on the ground in Minnesota 24/7. I met him down on the island of St. Lucia. He swore that there was snow on the ground 24/7. See, He's not from here. He's not from Minnesota. Okay? And because he's different at that cultural norm in his inner core than I am. I'm Minnesotan. And if you travel even further north, you get up into the Arctic. The Inuits up in Alaska have 37 different words for snow. 37 different words to describe the various snow conditions. Okay? Yeah, we don't. You know why? Their geography is different than ours. All right, the other thing that makes up that cultural level norm is the difference between the Italian males and the Italian females. It's so not sexist. There are just differences inside that tribe, inside the tribe of being Italian. No one is asking Tony's grandfather for the tomato sauce recipe. Nobody. All right? Why? Because that has been painstakingly handed down over the course of generations. Okay? From feminine to the divine feminine that is now Tony's mom. All right? All right. I know this is going quickly, but just keep writing. Here we go. The other thing that complicates Tony at the inner core are the group level bits of information. I'll drop this in again, and you can see the little G's. You can see the little G's, group level bits of information. This is super simple. This is just the groups that Tony belongs to. For instance, being a Panther from Lakeville North, being a Panther puts him in a group. Being a football player puts him in that group. Tony also goes to scouts after school. Every Friday, Tony goes down, and does his scout stuff down at the scout place where they learn about scouts and scouting. Okay, so you know what? That puts him in a group. It puts him in a group. And the clubs and the activities and all the things that you belong to give you different bits of information at that core. Tony, because he's a scout, knows the difference between tenderfoot, life, eagle, okay? And somebody else that isn't in that group might not, or just flat out doesn't. All right, so the groups that we belong to complicate us at our core. Then there is this ginormous, capital I for individual bits of information. And I really think if you're going to get to know somebody and the stuff that you self-disclose, countless bits of individual bits of information. This is where all of those little E's that we have already discussed about Tony belong, underneath the individual bits of information, because here's what makes those. These are all of the experiences. E, experiences. What happened when Tony was 6, how his grandfather treated him, etc. Okay? And the time they went to Sedona, the time they, tried to get into Canada, but it was closed. Okay? Because Canada's closed. All right, campers, all of the countless, look at in the chart, I have like individual bit of information times 67 to the 34th power, just because it's ginormous. Tony's lived for 17 years. He's had countless bits of experiences. The other things that fall in that individual grouping of what makes Tony Tony, just his idiosyncrasies, just the personality traits, just the stuff he likes. Like the dude is nutso magutso for ice cream. He loves ice cream, but only vanilla, only vanilla. Okay, that's an individual bit of information, and so on and so on and so on. And again, multiply that by a bazillion, right? So now Tony is really complicated. You saw it on the chart. Inside Tony, not only the feelings, values, and beliefs that we've talked about ad nauseum now, but now he's got this great culture, and we all do. We all can trace, some bit of our lineage and heritage, and we have it alive within us. Even if you have no idea what culture you come from traditionally, let's say you live in downtown Minneapolis and you have no idea whether you're German or Scandinavian, you just don't know. Okay? You still have a tribe. It's called the urban tribe. All right? You understand downtown Minneapolis. That's your tribe. All right? So Tony is complicated at this level now. Cultural, group, and individual level. All right, here's what I want you to do. Besides that, I really do need you to take a read, please, through the sheet that I gave you online now on Schoology. Schoology. I want you to take a look at it, and I want you to know the difference between where you're at when you're at that first meeting, the acquaintance level, the friendship level, and that best friend or soulmate or life partner level. There are major differences. Now, you have to understand this. First of all, you can't just make check marks. You can't just make check marks. Like, okay, we've been an acquaintance for 6 weeks. Now you're a friend. No, you can't. Because some acquaintances never become friends. Some of the people you meet for the first time, you just want to back away slowly. Like, hey, yeah, okay. Oh, my mom's calling. I gotta go. All right. Some of the people that we meet, we instantly think, this is fun. This is fun. All right. All right. Just take a look with me really quickly, and I want to make some highlights here. Okay, really quickly at that first meeting, because this is the only time. This is the only time when this thing is cut and dry. Like I said, there is no checklist. Once you check off 14 things, you go from being a friend to a best friend. This thing is slippery, okay? Except for the first meeting, because it happens, right? The first meeting is a very concrete moment in time where you go, hey, and the other person goes, hey. Or you're thrust into a group in Yakusha's English class, and there's Tina, and you say, hi. Okay? The first meeting. All right. Knowing that, there are some things that happen inside that first meeting. Take a look at the A, B, C, D, E, and F point, please, and think about that. This is unique to the first meeting. In the acquaintance level, there's still no real commitment. At the acquaintance level, you've been in that group in Yakusha's class now 5 times, maybe 7. But Tina is really still quasi unknown to Tony. He might not even know her name. At the acquaintance level, she might just be the girl with the yellow backpack that's in our group for To Kill a Mockingbird. Oh, yeah, what's her name? Okay, that's the acquaintance level. There's no real commitment. If girl with the yellow backpack doesn't come back to school, Tony is not on the phone trying to find out what's wrong. Oh my God, where is she? The only thing he cares about is that she was supposed to do the poster for their presentation. There's no real commitment, okay, at this level. The biggest thing, one of the biggest things on this sheet is the F point under that acquaintance stage, the F point. You take a look at it, please. Here's the deal. You can't have a best friend. You cannot have a soulmate. You can't have a life partner without first meeting them and then drawing these people from the acquaintance pool into the friendship pool, into that best friendship pool. All right? And the way you do that is that F point. Tony is constantly monitoring, constantly watching, constantly looking for the feedback, right? Oh my God, she just laughed at my jokes. Oh, she thinks the same way I do about X religion or X politics or why I don't know. So there's that. The F point there is really super important. Okay, look at the rest of the sheet. The involved stage, or what I'm going to call the friendship stage. Read through that, please. This is where self-disclosure is becoming so very, very important. Okay? All right. At that stable or soulmate level, you know each other as well as any human being on the planet will ever know you. Okay? You've divulged, disclosed, self-disclosed. You can predict the other person. You share some personal objects. I call this the, hey honey, I forgot my toothbrush. Can I borrow yours moment? And no problem, no problem. But try that with, a chapstick or something, lip gloss with an acquaintance who you don't know. Can I get some of that? It's like, here, keep it. All right, read through the rest of those variables that make up that soulmate or best friend, and I think you'll understand what I'm talking about. I'm running out of time here for one lecture. All right, so here's the deal. Especially if you keep reading down that list, there are the ability to finish each other's sentences, vast verbal and nonverbal short. I've had best friends, brothers and sisters and twins in my classes. I know they have shorthand communication. They can look across the room and go like this, and then raise an eyebrow, and then go like this, and the other person goes like this. And they're having entire conversations because they know each other so well. All right? All right, way more tomorrow. And tomorrow's Saturday, so that's a lie. Way more Tuesday, Thursday, Friday of next week. We got to end this thing. We're going to end it in style too. Style. What else rhymes with style? Style. A while? It's going to take a while. All right. Have fun. Keep the smile. All that happy crap. Keep your stick on the ice.